And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again for another episode of Evil Live. I'm your host, the Evil Tyrone. Got a very special guest tonight in the building. Another Scream King. I've interviewed this. This will be the last one. I've collected all four interviews, ladies and gentlemen. We got Mr. TaMon Kane in the building. How are you feeling tonight, TaMon?
I'm feeling pretty amazing. It's a great
Yes.
day. It's a great time to be alive in horror. And I'm here hanging out with you. We've been talking about doing this for a long time, and here we are.
Yes. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. I'm just very honored to have, such a talented individual like yourself, up on the show, writer, entrepreneur, got the Saucier saga in progress right now, getting that kicked off, you know. Had to make sure I had to get the pronunciation right. Did I get it right? Did I get it right?
You were so close.
Oh shit.
Very close. It's the Saucier saga.
Socier. There we go, people. Socier saga. There we go. There we go.
Saucier is Haitian Creole for witch.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Okay. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah,
What you can share.
absolutely. I can share a few things. It's about fraternity for male sorcerers. Stemming back from Egypt. So the characters look like us. They have stories like us. It's not the same Harry Potter, American Horror Story Coven things that you're used to seeing. I spent a
Yes.
couple of years researching different magical practices and having a good time learning about these things. So I want to give us something authentic that represents us. And, go find it, www.jointhefraternite.com. And it's a cool story. It's a cool saga. Book one is coming out in a couple of months, actually.
Yes. And the links is in the description, ladies and gentlemen. Links is in the description. Make sure you follow this man, everything he got going on, and make sure that you check out, his work, because I could tell you did a lot of research, and you put a lot of love into this project, from what I've seen so far,
Oh yeah,
on
it's,
the
it's definitely a passion project, and it means a lot to me.
Yes. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to everyone in the chat. We got Rainbow Fright. Congrats on it. Thank you, Rainbow. Thank
Hey,
you. We got Spooky Melon Magic. Bianca. Yes. Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Hi.
We got Germs in the building
Up,
showing
Jenna?
Tamar some love. Yes. We got it. Bianca, she's Haitian as well, so she
Inabule.
show you some love over there,
Inabule, Spooky.
in the building. We also got Michael Anthony, another Scream King in the building tonight. You
Yeah.
know, we. I don't think. Well, I was actually talking to Michael about doing getting all of y'all on, an episode, and maybe discussing something like Scream. Maybe our top, some sort of countdown. Something fun.
You know what? Give us the dates, and we'll be there.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what I can
yes.
guarantee.
Oh, you got my girl in the back,
Yeah, I try to
Gail,
represent just a little bit.
Miss Weathers, Miss Weathers.
If you're nasty, Miss
Yes. I guess we could start it off by, what's your horror origin story? How did you get into the genre?
I love that question, but I've been into horror since I can remember. Right, growing up, I have two cousins that were in this close in the same age bracket, and our older cousins and my brother used to torture us and make us go into these rooms and watch horror movies. When they were like
Mm,
crying, I was the only one that's like, give me more," and so it started off like a hazing tradition, but it's something that I grew to love.
wow,
Yeah,
wow, awesome. I always love that, asking that question to people, because I get a different answer every time,
yeah,
and it's always wild to see, like how different people, from different backgrounds, like come into the love for the same thing, or something similar, something very, passionate, you know,
yeah.
how they get their passion, because I see it, and that's why I love watching like other horror content creators, especially like horror content creators of color, when they get together and discuss their passions, and just to see how they work together and how they bounce off each other, which is another thing that I see, with you and the guys with Scream Kings, which I really, appreciated, because I didn't see, a lot of that, like especially searching YouTube and trying to find like
Yeah.
different people to break down like horror reviews and stuff like that, or just the genre, and to see four black men up there, it was just like, yo, this is dope, calling themselves Scream Kings. This is dope, so I definitely appreciate y'all. Definitely.
You know, going into it, putting together the group to figure out like what we're going to do, because I work with all of them individually, and so we just sort of I had this idea of us doing like this view kind of show, and once we did like a chemistry read and a pilot, it was like, oh yeah, we found something really cool and golden, and it's been a really cool experience. And people have reached out and said to us that they found their community. I was like, wow, that's awesome. That's the goal. That's the mission. That's what we want to do, right? Create a tribe. And so like, come home, guys, follow us, subscribe.
Yeah. Yes. Shout out to Terrell in the building.
What's
Shout
up?
out. She got Michael says Gail Weathers, author of the Woodsboro murders. Yes,
That's
sir.
correct. That is
Yes,
correct.
sir. Oh, snap. We got Chase in the building.
What's
That
up?
background. Yeah, Chase is a big Scream fan as well. We got a lot of Scream energy in the building.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we need. It's the season we're in right now,
Yes. So are you excited about the new one coming out? Scream 6?
What you say? Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I have been researching and Googling, and this is out since Scream 2 came out. So like this is just part of my DNA. And Scream has this cool way of creating this fan base from the very original. And they're still the same fan base today. And they love to figure it out before it comes out. They love to see the clues and look at slow down the trailer. So am I excited? I'm extremely excited.
Yes. Yeah. How did you feel about 5?
About 5?
Yeah.
5 was good. I love all my babies. I love all the Scream movies. 5 was good for me because it was fan service. It was about showing the fans that we understand Wes Craven is no longer here, but as radio silence, we're going to show up, pay homage. We're going to give some Easter eggs. We're going to make this feel like this is the Scream universe that you're used to, and then we're going to give you some terror and horror and death in the middle of it. And that's what happened with Dewey, unfortunately. But that's what it was. But this next movie, it's excited because they're trailing their own path. They are creating their own version of Scream. And as everyone has seen the trailer, it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. Yeah. I can't wait. And I know a lot of people, they were like a little iffy on them moving to New York and everything. But I'm like, so far of what we've seen, with like the train scenes, even with Ghostface with a gun, I was like, oh, this is
it's a different day and age. We're no longer in Woodsboro in 1996.
Yeah.
So here we are, and you have the kids moving to New York, going to college, and the one and only Gail Weathers is going to have some really good times in this movie. So I'm excited to see her. She looks great. She's talking shit like we're used to. Versus in 5, she was a little sad, but that's understandable. So.
Yes, most definitely. Germs. He says TaMon is known for his hard. Well, he corrected it. Hard work. His hard work and his brilliance. But to me, his best attribute is his scream.
Oh, Germ! Oh, my scream! That was a setup. That felt. I stream on. I stream like PlayStation, Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, and so I'm really into it, and I get terrified, so I'm screaming. Like I've been to a Scream workshop, which I actually have. So like it's just like
wow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it here because I don't want to burst any eardrums. But yeah.
No, I mean this is Evol live. It's raw. So if ever you do feel comfortable on any time that you are on Evol live, we are a Scream friendly, show
I should
here.
scream. I should belt
Yes,
out a scream.
yes,
Say
yes,
less. Say less.
yes. We but yes, yes. We got a lot of scream love in the building. So
Yeah.
my next question for you would be do you have a favorite subgenre, of horror?
Slashers.
Slashers.
But I feel that's too easy, right? Like I feel like it's gonna be too
I
easy.
mean, it is what it is. Well, name if you're gonna say slashers, like, do you have any favorites? Besides Scream.
Okay, thank you, Ken. That's a great question. I do. I love The Strangers. I think The
Yes.
Strangers. I would have loved to like read that script. It was so good, and it was a small cast. So it was intimate, and it was creepy. And Liv Tyler was absolutely amazing. That's a slasher. I think. Yeah, it was. And then of course Halloween. Friday. No, I'm sorry, Halloween. Um, Nightmare on Elm Street. Hatchet too because Danielle Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have tons of slashers that I love.
Yes. 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 I love that you mentioned The Strangers. I love when everybody, when they showed The Strangers some love, because I know some people, they, I guess, because of the like the motivations of the killers, but I'm like, that's the scariest part for me,
Right, right,
when they were like, oh, because we're home, you know like that's the creepiest part, but
absolutely. No motive is just insane, and I
uh-huh.
cannot not mention. I know what you did last summer. I want to shout out to Helen Shivers here and give her some
Oh,
love. I know what you did last summer. Probably one of my favorite. Not probably, it is in my top three slashers.
what are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
It never gets old.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So how'd you feel about the sequel? I still know what you did last summer, and uh
He was
Jack
abs-
Black's.
I probably would have been hanging out with him. He was he was a hoot in that movie. I loved I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I love Brandy's performance. She had an amazing chase scene. Chase scenes are
Yes.
my horror turn on. So I love a great chase scene, and Brandy killed it in that one.
Yes.
She was great.
Yes. I love that. I love that horror turn on. I might I
Mhm.
might turn I might turn that into a question. Thank you
That's a
for
copyright, so we need to talk about
it.
that.
We got Germs. He says Strangers are my second fave
Absolutely.
too. Yes, yes. Bianca says yes, Michael Myers Horror Bay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good old Miguel.
Chase said I'm excited to see the new Strangers trilogy. Wow, I did not know there was a new Strangers trilogy.
Yeah,
Wow.
they got greenlit a couple of months ago, and they're done filming, I think, or they're almost done. The redhead from Riverdale, she's one of the leads in it.
Oh
So
wow.
that should be interesting. Maybe.
Wow. That's gonna be wild. That's
Yeah,
gonna be
I'm
wild.
excited for it, but if Liv Tyler is not in it, I'm a little sad. So
Yeah. Yeah. Now, you had mentioned Halloween, so what are some of your favorite Halloween movies? Like, what's your top two Halloween movies?
I was introduced to Halloween via Halloween 4 and 5 first, and then I saw 2, and then I saw 1. So I was completely out of order as a child when I saw it. So Halloween 4 has to be one of my favorites. I love Danielle Harris, and I still do. She's an amazing scream queen.
Yes,
Uh,
up there.
so Halloween 4, and then H2O. H2O is one of my favorites. Of course, it's the Scream Halloween. Of course, Kevin Williamson,
Yes,
and but that was Laurie Strode at her one of her greatest moments.
yes. I love that you brought up H2O. Like, I think that's my second favorite,
Yeah.
Halloween movie. Like, I know everybody puts the first one up there, but I know for me, the first one is probably like third on my list.
Hmm.
Up there is like Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2 is number 1, and then number 2 is H2O. And I guess because, it's the Scream one, and also just growing up, like I remember I was probably like in middle school when it came out,
Hmm.
and I just remember going to the drive-in and just that experience, and it was just, I feel like it was my generation's Halloween basically,
Yeah,
so
for sure, for sure. Um, I never keep the originals in my listings or rankings of things because they're always going to be the original, and it's not fair to put them up against the others unless I had to, right? But
Yes.
H2O, it was really really good, really good.
Yes. Yes.
And I actually like Rob Zombie's first one too. I get a lot of flack for that amongst my peers.
You know, I'm not going. I'm going. I respect everybody's opinion, and that's why that's the beautiful thing about the horror community. Like we all just love so many different things, and everybody's got their own favorite screams and their own favorite Halloweens and everything. So I do, even though like the Rob Zombie ones weren't my favorite, like I will say that there were certain things that I did like about them, like the brutality of Michael Myers, and like the sequel, the Rob Zombie sequel, Halloween 2, like the opening, the beginning, where they just did that like homage to the original Halloween 2, like that was just it was
great.
it was fucking amazing.
And then Daniel Harris's murder in the second one was just brutal. And I still get chills just even thinking because it's no visuals, just sound. And I still get chills for that scene. But other than that, the ending of the movie just ruined everything for me. But for the second one with the horse and all these other things. But I love the first Rob Zombie.
Yeah. Rob Zombie, he did his thing. He did his thing. I know a lot of people trash him or whatever, but I'm just like he brought an element, and just like these last people, brought an element to the franchise as well, and now whomever else is at the helm of the new Halloween, because I'm sure they're going to make more, will bring their own.
You don't think we're done?
I think we should be done, but I don't think we're done. I think we should be done. I mean, I don't know how you felt about Halloween Ends, like how did you feel about how did you
you know what? If it was the first part of the new trilogy, I would have loved it.
Yeah.
And Rory, or is it Corey? Corey Cunningham.
Corey.
If Corey was introduced in the first part of this, and he was an actual character that we saw him transition and saw his interaction, and he actually mattered to us, I would have enjoyed that more. I thought it was different. This is the first time I liked Allison. I didn't like any of the other ones until this one, when she was all flirty and having a good time with Corey trying to get smashed, and that's that's. But other than that, it was okay. I like I like kills.
Yeah, I think when I first saw Kills, I loved Kills, but then I rewatched it and I was like, oh, I see a lot of issues with this, but I guess I enjoyed the brutality of it, I just love that brutal Michael Myers, that I love the shape, but I also love when he turns up and he's just
and kills everyone. So entertainment value, rewatchability, it probably is the better one. The first one is better.
The first one is definitely.
This has a lot of action. The first one feel like a balanced movie, where this one feel like kills and ends for like part 1 and part 2 of Halloween versus like two separate movies, and time has moved on how it did.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. Bianca says how about Halloween Resurrection shenanigans? Halloween, I love Halloween Resurrection. It just says it's a guilty pleasure for me. Like, I know it's not the best movie, but it's a guilty pleasure.
I mean, give me Tyra Banks and Busta Rhymes anytime and we'll be fine, right? So, but it just wasn't the greatest movie. Like, if it was on TV, I would still watch it, of course. But I think it was before its time. I think if they would have came out with that maybe 5 to 10 years later, when technology was more prominent and stronger how it is now, that whole Decker and helping me get out this house experience, that would have felt better. And a reality show idea would have felt better.
Gotcha. What I respect that. I respect that.
But it was fun.
Chase says Corey is my second favorite character in the franchise.
The entire franchise, or the new
Chase?
One.
Chase, I respect it, buddy. I respect it. I respect it.
I need clarity. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, because I'm gonna take it as him making a statement and just being the entire franchise. Because
I mean,
he ain't say the new one. He was just like the
he
franchise.
couldn't have meant that. I know he didn't mean that. Right? You didn't mean that.
No, I think I'm a respect it. I'm a respect it because I know a lot of people. They said that they would have loved the story if it wasn't, under the umbrella of Halloween. They would have
Yeah, it
loved
would have
it
been
a little
great.
bit
Yeah, for
more.
sure.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Like if
the
it was the same story, but it wasn't Michael Myers and he was just some old myth in the town. But because it was Michael Myers, we wanted Michael Myers. That's all.
oh yeah, no,
Mhm.
he says the entire franchise ends is one of my favorites. There we go. There
Okay.
we go. I respect it. I respect it. There we go, Chase. Making the statements. Making the statements. What's up, Bobby? Bobby
Hey,
likes his
Bobby,
food.
hi.
Enter in the chat. Enter in the chat. Now you also mentioned Nightmare on Elm Street, so I know some people are people get a little feisty when it comes to their favorite, nightmares. So what's your favorite nightmare?
You know what? The only one that matters is Kristen Parks. So, Dream Warriors, yeah, Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. They
Oh,
talk about Alice, they talk about Nancy, she's dead, but and Alice is at the diner. Uh, but Kristen is what matters, and only the Patricia Arquette version though, not the Tuesday.
oh,
Not Tuesday night.
not Tuesday night.
Talk about her now. She's the
Okay.
reason we got Alice, so we're forever upset. That's for Michael. I love you.
Yeah. I'm like I see Michael in the comments. I see him when he missed his little jab,
Mhm.
but yeah, I really enjoyed Dream Warriors.
Yeah,
It's one it's up there for me. For me, like my favorite one is the first one, and then New Nightmare. Like there's just something about New Nightmare that's just
I agree.
like meta and just fun. It's just like fun to me. Something about New Nightmare.
Heather Langenkamp, Wes Craven, Robert England playing themselves was just absolutely awesome. It was awesome.
Oh, Michael said, what was said?"
Nothing of importance. It was about nothing of
Yeah,
importance.
we was just celebrating Alice, Michael. We was just celebrating Alice.
That's what we were doing for sure.
So do you have a favorite decade of horror? You know,
That's a tough question. Like it's supposed to be the 80s, right? But the 90s and
yeah.
2000s, I love that era. I mean, I love the 80s because that's what raised me, right? But I love the late 90s, early 2000s, from the Black Christmas remake to the Sorority Row to Scream, all of the Screams, the Friday the 13th remake. It's just something about that early 2000s. It was pumping out and trying things different. What was it? Toby, the little boy. What is that called? Um, Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, paranormal. Yeah.
Paranormal Activity. So even though all those came out around that time, so I love it. I love that time period.
Yeah. They changed the game a lot. We had something like Paranormal Activity, and we also had the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both which changed the game and just switched a lot of things around. We see a lot of different variants out there. From what they came out with.
And we also had the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Yes. Which how did you feel about that one?
If it just needed a few things to be tweaked, right? The script, the director, the lead, also just small things like that just needed to be tweaked. Just a few things. Katie Cassidy should have been the lead of that movie and killed. Stop! I'm just saying, it was just all these things they needed to fix. Just
Yeah, because I mean, I was gonna because sometimes we as horror fans or as film fans in general, like sometimes you just go to a movie, you're just like, you know what, I just want to experience something. I don't care if it's good or bad. Let me just ride this out. And with the new with the reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street, I just felt like when they went into certain subject matter, I was just like, this is a little too much for me, you know, for me to be rooting for this, like for that character. Like y'all pretty much switching the whole character around, you know, with this. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I can't root for this character when you're introducing, you know, certain things, even though before in the original,
It was
you
in,
know, certain things are implied, you
yeah,
know, but you know, it wasn't it's I don't know, it just made me very uncomfortable, which I mean horror is supposed to make you
for
it's
sure. It should
supposed to
challenge
make
you. It should definitely challenge you.
uh,
It wasn't so for that. That wasn't the problem for me. I will say this: they introduced some really cool things. I like how they classified micro naps.
yeah.
He's always snuck in and got you right, and you didn't know you were asleep. But this made micro naps a thing where you can like come out of it quickly or go into it quickly. And for a person who have micro naps, I understand how this could be a thing. So this was that was interesting. Um, but yeah, that's all I have to say. That was great about it. And I don't want to begin on what Freddie looked like because that was probably the biggest issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they could have tried harder, or they could have got Robert Englund. But
Could have.
you
Could
know,
have.
why not? But
I mean,
what do I know?
we saw him in Stranger Things. He was
He's
still
basically the same. He's back,
yeah, yeah, pretty much, pretty
He's
much.
nightmares.
So you also brought up the remake of Friday the 13th, you know,
Mhm.
and they're also doing, I think Peacock is doing the prequel with his mom. So
Yeah.
are you excited about that one?
So, me and Friday the 13th have a really interesting relationship. We don't really have one. Like I've seen them, but as much as I remember as much as I remember like Manhattan, I remember the girl with the psychic powers. I remember Tommy Doyle, Tommy Jarvis, excuse me, Tommy Jarvis, and both versions of him. And of course the first and second one. And I've rewatched them recently. But it's me and Friday the 13th are not like, I'm super excited. But because it's horror, and it'll allow me to connect with it in a different way and not be held to like the current story and the story that people know before it. Maybe it will be an exciting journey to sort of see what this talk. And who's playing Mrs. Voorhees? Is it Alice from the first movie?
I'm not sure.
I
I'm
think
not
so.
sure. Oh, she is?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
I think
That's
so.
that's going to be interesting.
That's pretty interesting for sure.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. That just added another layer. That just added another layer because sometimes, you know, like when they go back, it can be some foolishness, but sometimes it can be some greatness, you know, like I really enjoyed Bates Motel, you know, what they
Oh yeah,
did
me too.
with Bates Motel and just the acting in that, like the dude was he fucking murdered, especially like towards the later seasons. Like
Oh, oh yeah, when you start having visions. And Vera Farmiga, like it doesn't matter what she plays in, right? It's just like she just kills it.
yes, yes. Kills it, kills it. Shout out to the Conjuring. I love the Conjuring,
Oh yeah.
you know. But I mean, I know a lot of people had issues with the third one, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. Like I was like, it's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. It wasn't I don't think it was necessarily as good as like the second one, you know, but
Yeah.
it was still a good movie.
The
You
second
know?
one was great. That was doing the clap game, right? Or no,
Oh, that's the first one was the clap.
that was
Yeah.
terrifying. That was terrifying.
Oh yeah. Like I did not know what I was getting into when I first saw when I saw the first Conjuring, you know, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, "Oh shit." And then they announced the second one and I'm like, "It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be as good." Then they just, you know, knocked me over the head with the greatness of the Nun, you know.
Oh, the numbers, and I'm excited about the second one too.
Well, I'm excited because of Keela writing it because I honestly fell asleep during the first one. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Oh God,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, I fell asleep. I have to. I'll give it another shot, but the first one, you know, I don't know. Like, did you enjoy the first? Did you enjoy the first one?
When you asked me my one of my subgenres of horror, I was going to say possession films. A lot of
Yes.
things for them, and it wasn't bad. I like the ending. I'm all about connective tissue, so they're doing a really good job at streaming along this universe, and it's interesting how they connected this one to the first one, and he was the one on the projection screen. It was just really good, so I enjoyed it, and it was sort of scary.
Yeah, yeah. It was I'm gonna give it another shot. The same with the Curse of La Llorona, because
Huh?
I feel like I kind of slept on that one too, you know.
Give it
But
a shot.
I'm gonna give him another shot, because I was excited. I was excited. I was like, oh, y'all gonna explore the lore of La Llorona and all that, But then, well, I'll give it another shot. I'll give it another shot. So, my next question would be: could you name a film that you wish you could have been on the set for?
Scream, Scream 2. I'm not gonna answer Scream for any of my questions. Okay, I'm gonna because all of my answers are probably gonna be that. A film. So many. The Strangers.
The
Yeah, I
Strangers.
mentioned that earlier. The Strangers,
Okay.
and maybe Poltergeist, the first one.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
That was,
So you mentioned The Strangers, Scream 2, and Poltergeist. Some good ones. Some good ones. So what scene specifically could you see yourself on? Well, what scene could you see yourself on of Scream 2?
that one, the one right behind me, that entire segment. That's the scene from Scream 2. Or I think the car scene with Hallie City would have been fun to be a part of.
Yeah.
I probably would have been laughing a lot, and Horace for sure by the end of that.
Okay. Okay. What about Poltergeist? What
Poltergeist,
scene from Poltergeist?
Poltergeist. I've been in the scene where I was a kid and on the TV was like, "They're here." I've done that several times as a child, so definitely that part. Um, I always love the scene when Diane is getting ready to go into the closet. She's entering into the other world, and
Yes.
how she walks through the fan, and then her hair is blowing, and she transfers over to the other side. That side, that scene for sure.
Yes. The Poltergeist, that whole like franchise got wild, you know.
Oh yeah, oh
Franchise.
yeah, and I love all of them.
Yes, yes. Michael says Tamon's scream when Randy died would have been crazy.
And yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yes. And what about the strangers? What scene, what do you think about in the strangers?
That very end when they're tied up to the chair, and it was
Mm,
one of my favorite moments is when they are connecting one last time, and that moment when you know you're dead, and instead of shrinking in fear, you sort of embrace each other in love, and he gets stabbed to death in front of
yeah.
her. Acting, that's just like golden. It was golden. I would want to do that scene.
Dang, dang. Yeah, that movie was fucked up. You
It
know that.
was. We just broke up. Didn't want to marry your ass, and here we are together in this house that you got for us, and now we're dead. Well, you are. You know what I'm saying? Now we're dead.
Now my next question would be: do you have some favorite black horror, from the past?
I Vampire in Brooklyn. Vampire in
Yes,
Brooklyn. I love that movie. I wish we would have got the original version where it was actually scary, but I love that movie. It's so funny.
yes, yes.
Nikki, the whore of Babylon. So like I love that movie. And then one that scared me, or I was afraid of, was Tales from the Hood. Those
Yes.
little things out coming out that picture, it terrified me when I was younger.
Everybody. I think it. I mean, when people bring it up and they talk about it, they tell we all like come together in how much that scene or those scenes terrified us. But I am willing to say that those little fucking voodoo dolls or whatever the fuck they were, the motherfuckers hopping out the picture, they were that whole scene. is just as legendary as the logs from Final Destination 2. You know,
You'll
like
never forget that moment. Anytime you see Antebellum Home with this this picture on the wall, you're gonna think they're gonna move when I wake up, when I go to bed.
uh-huh.
And when you drive, when you get behind one of those trucks, with the first thing you think of is, nope, let me go away.
No matter how old you are, no matter how
No,
it just that scene was just so traumatic, and it's like, that's how you know you pulled off something really special, when you can shoot something and translate it to film, and you know years later people are still like up in
emotionally
arms about it.
about it. It's really trauma. They created a trauma for the world. Like we don't have enough. So never forget.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Bobby said those dolls will whoop your
Tear
ass.
you up, tear
Right.
you right up, tear your ass up.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. Now they brought up some black horror from the past, but do you have any, favorite black horror of the present, or
Mm. Yeah, I think so. I have Lovecraft Country.
yes,
I
yes,
enjoyed that for thousands of reasons. Every episode felt like a different subgenre of horror. We had the haunted house, we had the possession, we had the one that was focused more on witchcraft, then we had your creature feature. So it was like they touched so many different subgenres of horror, even like this Indiana Jones episode when they were swimming and investigating underneath the house. So like it was so many cool things. And Journey Smollett, you're a scream queen, love. Like you did your thing that entire season and you were great at it.
yes, yes. It's like they knew they were going to get canceled. Like I know everybody was upset, but I'm like, I kind of feel like these motherfuckers knew they was going to get canceled because they went like everything was just too perfect. I'm like, everything was hitting. I'm hitting so many beats. I'm getting, emotional during certain episodes, and just it just was like a roller coaster. And like you said, the different genres, and I'm like, damn, I'm seeing things that I've never seen before. Not just in like black horror, but just horror in general. Like you guys really did something special here. Misha Green, shout out to Misha
Oh my
Green.
God, I love you.
You know.
Everything she does is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a new movie I haven't seen yet. It's called Fear, and it's predominantly black people. Tommy's from Power, and people give him a black card pass. So, I guess so. I mean, the most of the cast is black, and I want to see it. It seems interesting. And then Monique has a movie coming out, a possession story.
Monique.
Mm-hmm. All
Wow.
black. Right, right. So there's stuff that's being created. So that's super exciting. Now, if it's good or not, I don't know.
But I'm
But
but I'm so possession to Monique. Like
yeah,
I'm gonna at least give it a watch. I'm gonna give it a watch.
you got to. And then Scream 6, the main cast is of color. So
Yeah, yeah.
does
It's
that count? Or Scream that doesn't count
yeah, I mean, Scream.
now.
Well, shit, we taking over. Like Khaled said, we taking over. So uh, I'm gonna claim that Scream 6. First Scream. Well, is Scream 2 a black movie? Because for me, and my, because for me, it's so
No.
the most iconic scene in there is black though. Like
Which part? Like the car scene?
what a no, I would say like the opening scene.
Oh,
Like
yeah, it completely escaped me. The opening scene for sure. That doesn't make it a black film. They still died. At least in Scream 6, 5, 5. I can't say 6. At
yeah,
least, at least in Scream 5, they survived.
true.
And they are the leads. And it's, yeah, they're all four of them are of color. So
Well, we gonna see. We gonna see.
wish them the best of luck in New
Yeah,
York.
yeah. We gonna wish him the best of luck. We definitely gonna wish him the best of luck. Um, Michael said the possession of Professor Ogilvy. uh, I was.
Next question. No comment.
uh, Now, you being in the horror community, and having Scream Kings, and writing your book, and just all these fun things that you're doing. How does it feel being in the horror community in the year 2023? Where we see just so many content creators of color. How is it just being in the mix? Right now, where we didn't necessarily have this as
Right.
children.
Right. It's interesting because like I've always written towards horror. Like I've been writing for newspapers since I was in high school. So when I was in college, I wrote for the college paper, and I did movie reviews. And the first one that I did was Freddy versus Jason. That's gonna date me a little bit, but hey,
No,
there
not at all.
it was Freddy versus Jason. And so, like anything I try to do, I try to sprinkle just a little bit in. I'm on another podcast called Geeking Out. And so we talk about all things geek related, from Marvel to board games to what's that? I don't watch anime to all of those to all those different to all those different things. And my perspective is always horror. So like it's always been in me, but now it's just like there's more lanes for it. There's more visible people that are doing great things in the horror community, and it's so exciting. And it's just I feel like it's just starting, but we haven't just started. If that makes sense.
There we go. There we go. I love, like Michael said, you are Gale for real.
Yeah.
Facts, facts. Wow, wow. And you said you're not really into anime. Was that the?
I did slide that in there because I think you like anime, right?
You know what? My fiance, she's more anime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm open-minded to it, like I'll get, if someone recommends something to me. Like when I first met her, she recommended Death Note to me, which is like, I would say it's like a psychological thriller type horror, anime, which is really good. Like if you haven't if like a lot of anime turns you off, then I would recommend like Death Note, or something fun like One Punch Man. One Punch Man is
I'm
fun
familiar
too.
with all of those. Listen, I love Sailor Moon and getting ready for school in the
Oh
morning,
yeah.
right? I love Sailor Mercury. That's my girl. No, no, it was Mars. Sorry, Mercury. I love Mars. And I've seen Demon Slayer, Goblin Slayer. There's one that I also like called shit. It's the one with this guy just yells a lot on it. Hurt. It doesn't matter. But there is there is one that I do like, but it's not my thing really. I mean, I find a few and then we'll go with it. Death Note slaps.
Oh yeah, Bobby. It definitely does. Vanta
Black
Black.
Clover. Thank you. Thank you, Vanta. That's the one I was talking about.
There we go. Shout out to Vanta. Thank you for stopping by. Thank
Yeah.
you. Black Clover. All right, I gotta check that out. All right, Black Clover.
There's a character named Noelle, and she checks all my boxes. And you may not know what that means yet, but you'll grow to know what that means. She's a mean girl. She's this rich, privileged girl who comes from this family that has all this power, but she can't control her. So, like, of course, of course, she's so frustrated.
Of
She's so
course.
frustrated. So she's funny.
Of course. All right. And Vanta says, Mary Leona.
Mary Leona.
Mary Leona is my girl. Oh, is
Mhm.
she from Black Clover?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. There we go. There we go. Now, my next question would be, what was a movie you wish you could see for the first time? Again.
The Blair Witch.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
I saw the Blair Witch and I was dealing with personal trauma at that time. So my brothers had to make me leave early because I thought something was happening to my mother. So we left. So I sort of ruined that first experience for myself. But I would love to see that for the first time. It was scary to me. And I don't know how old I was, but I was young, like 13 or something, whenever it came out.
Oh, Blair Witch was definitely scary,
Oh, yeah, it was scary.
especially back then, when
Mhm.
we
It
didn't.
was new, found footage. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked so real, and I was just like, is this really happening? Even though they had a whole campaign on the website, and I was just like, is this real? Like, I think I was probably in like elementary school or something talking about this. This is real. This is
It's
real.
scary. And then the scary movie they did that scene where she's like, to all my family, if you find this film, I'm so sorry.
Yo, that whole snot, like I don't know if it was CGI snot or, but they was OD. You know,
Oh,
the
it was good. But the
Wayne's
first
brothers was OD.
they don't they have no they don't care. They don't care at all.
Nah.
But the original the Blair Witch version of that was like heartbreaking.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
hurt, it really hurt. And she wasn't going home.
Nah, she wasn't. None of them were. None of them. Nope.
No, but that's why I really love horror, right? I brought that up in The Strangers. Like it's about those emotions that they invoke. Like you're not gonna live. Like it's nothing else you can do. And how do you react in those seconds? And she decided to leave a love note to her family and friends who might not ever see this fucking video. You know, but it was good. It was scary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shout out Sylvester Barzy, author Sylvester Barzy in the house. You know, he said Bobby's right, Death Note is fire. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Greetings, author Sylvester.
But yeah, he got the Planet Dead, you know, series popping, you know, zombie horror fiction. Really, really talented dude, really talented dude.
Okay,
Um and
we
we got,
follow each other.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
oh yeah. You gotta, you know, network and mingle with the community, you know.
Absolutely.
Network and mingle with the community. So now my next question would be what does horror do for you specifically for your mental health, you know, if anything?
Oh, for sure. It allows me to see things that I would like to go do, but I can't. I'm just kidding. I don't want to. I don't want to go kill people. But it's like your blanket or your pillow, your favorite blanket or your pillow. That's how I feel about the screen, especially the one behind me. Um, it's just like things you can watch over and over and over. Like I watch it while work is playing. I can watch it at night. I can watch it in the daytime. I can watch it on the airplane. It's my preference to watch anything of the horror genre. So I don't know. It does everything for me. It does everything
Yes.
for me. When I have those moments where I want to be left alone, I'll definitely put some horror on and chill out and mind my business.
Yes, yes, most definitely, most definitely. I always love asking people that question because you know I get so many different answers and you know so many because you sometimes if like from the outside looking in, you know, people see the blood and the gore and the guts and someone getting their, you know, their legs sawed off or their head chopped off and they're just like, how does this relax you? How does this, you know, do anything for you mentally? And I'm like, yo, this is how I vibe out. You know, no matter what the medium is, like I could
Yeah.
throw on a movie or you know, like before getting on this podcast, because sometimes like I'll get nervous like before an interview, like when I'm talking to someone for the first time.
Uh-huh.
Like I jumped on the game, started playing Dead Space, you know, and you know, just start chopping up aliens on a spaceship, you know, and just calm me down. Or before I go to sleep, like sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll throw in a horror podcast, you know, just to mellow me out, you know, which I gotta, you know, I've had to learn how to turn the volume down, you know, because sometimes I'll be dead asleep, but it'll be somebody screaming in the headphones, you know, bloody murder, you know. So yeah, yeah. So we got Jaleesa in the building.
Hey,
Hello,
Jaleesa.
hello, hello, hello. But yeah, horror and mental health and horror is just it's they go hand in hand. You know, they definitely go hand in hand.
There's some things that like you mentioned going to sleep. When I rewatched Hereditary. This is my second time
Yes.
watching it. The first time I was like in and out of sleep. And that I had to watch like Velma after it went off so I could sort of like pull myself out of that heaviness of the Hereditary. There was moments in there that I was like, oh my god, like when the daughter, oh god, she was had her head out the window. I literally screamed and turned my head to the pillow. I was so embarrassed. Like I was like, ah! Like no, it was scared the shit out of me. And it wasn't scary. It was just I knew it was coming. They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. They did it.
Uh huh.
I
It's
watched Selma, which is light horror, kid horror, to bring me back down to reality.
something like that. Like I think we all have our like programs or our go-tos that we go to like when the horror gets a little bit too intense or we need to put our minds on something else,
Yeah,
you know.
I don't want to
So
dream about it. The other stuff I can handle, but it was Hereditary was deep, and that's how I felt about Dahmer too. Did you watch that?
Dahmer, I was depressed
Oh
for
my
like
god,
it's like after I was just like, damn,
I
dog. Like
still have 2 episodes left.
I can't. I could never watch. I was like, I don't know about the like it because they talking about like making a Gacy one and all this other shit. I'm like, I don't know because that one it just fuck with my energy. Like the whole like all them episodes. It
That's
just
how I felt too. Like it was for me, it was relatable. It's something that can actually still happen to this day and age.
hmm
And they really put you in his point of view, and not to make you sympathize with him because I didn't, but you saw who he was as a person, and then you realize like, oh shit, he was a person, but still, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. He's a murderer, and it was just a trippy experience.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. Got a lot of people in the comments
Ooh,
talking about Hereditary. Sylvester says, "Man, if my life was in shambles, ain't nothing better than seeing someone run for their lives from a psycho in a mask." Facts,
that's
Sylvester. Facts.
absolutely.
Bianca said that scene with the daughter's head.
I'm sorry, it's not funny, but you know what I mean? It was.
Yes, yes. Sylvester said that was the best part of the movie. It ain't for me. And Jaleesa said her brother going to bed but not going to sleep was crazy. He ain't say not a nan until the mom woke up. Yo, when I was in the theater, like I was sweating, like my hand was gripping, the little armrest a little bit when he came home because I'm like, I know I know some shit is going to go down. And then you just hear the mom scream, because I'm like, you just ain't going to say nothing. Like, and I get it. Like your sister, she just like her head finito,
That was
you still in shock.
it was so well done because you were focused on him, and we knew he was in shock, so we were in shock because I was definitely fucking in shock when that happened because I don't remember that. I knew she was dead, I just didn't remember how it happened. And so Tony Collette, shout out to you, Tony Collette. You are a monster. It's nothing she can't do. Like she was so great in Hereditary. And it definitely is a meditation on motherhood and grief per Tara Carpenter, Scream 5. It definitely is that for sure.
Yes, yes. It was so well done. Like I didn't really know what to expect. They kept advertising it like this is the new Exorcist. And I'm like, this ain't no damn Exorcist. Like I,
Yeah,
I watched the movie, I loved it, but this ain't no damn Exorcist.
you lied.
But it was still damn good and it made me I really appreciated what they contributed to the genre, because even though like I know a lot of people don't like the term like elevated horror and stuff like that, but I know when you bring different perspectives to the genre, like you get more eyes on it, and I
Yeah.
I feel like even though they still not gonna fuck with it how they supposed to fuck with it, because Nope got snubbed, for the awards, which is wild to me.
Yeah, listen. So Nope is like Jaws, right? It's basically the same thing as a Jaws movie. And I didn't love Nope. I'm sorry. I give it all the points because it's Jordan Peele, Kiki
Yeah.
Palmer. I give it all those points. But it may just not be my type of horror movie. I don't think it was bad, like objectively speaking. I don't think it was bad. It's pretty brilliant, actually. But it wasn't. It's not my type of like Jaws isn't my type of horror film.
No,
Even I
I
love
respect it.
Piranha and 47 Meters Below and Blue something with LL Cool J, but Jaws.
Deep Blue Sea.
Thank you. Deep Blue Sea. I do know horror.
Yeah.
It's like Deep Blue Sea.
um, what about The Shallows? Did you see The Shallows?
No,
Oh yeah, that was a really good one.
I
That's a
saw
really
Crawl.
Crawl was wild.
That was one of my top 3 movies of that year. Crawl was dope.
Mm.
Dope. I was screaming the whole time watching that when he snatched up that sheriff through the it's in the trailer and Them alligators were not playing. That's all I can tell y'all.
That's one thing that I just do not fuck with. Alligators, especially like lizards, but big lizards, I just do not fuck with them at all. Like
What kind
it's
of lizards? You mean like Jurassic Park lizards, or like that too? That
well,
too?
I mean that too, but I'm especially because like they made us read Jurassic Park as required reading in high school,
Oh, that's
so.
cool. That wasn't for us, but that was great.
Yeah, and it was. I remember, because we, of course, I'd seen the movie before reading the book, but they were like, "Yeah, you got to read the book because it's different."
Mhm.
And I read it, and I'm like, "Oh shit, this is different." And the book is more horror than the movie. Like the book was straight up like, "Oh shit," like it was a wild ride. Like the movie was a wild ride as well, but the book was just like, miles and miles ahead of what we got to see on the screen.
That happens often, and you know what? That would be a cool thing for us to talk about maybe sometime in the future. Books that are horror books that are different from their movies.
Yes.
That happens quite a bit. Like I know What You Did Last Summer is not even. That's one of my favorite books in middle school to read, and it wasn't even a slasher. One or two people died, I think, in the book. That's it.
Wow.
So imagine me, who's in love with Sarah Michelle Gellar, and reading the books before the movie come out, seeing her murdered. I was like, what? What is happening? What is happening?
But they like to take liberties. They like to take liberties. Like I was just
Yeah,
talking with someone about not too long ago, well, a couple of days ago, about True Blood, and what they how they took liberty with Tara's character when
sure.
they made her black,
Yeah.
and how she had money, and she was driving these cars, and she was a business owner, but then when they made her black in the show, none of that. They
She ain't got no
stripped her of
money.
all
She none of
that.
that. No.
You
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
So
True Blood until the last season.
yeah, it was up and down for me. Like I really enjoyed the first couple seasons. Then it was like up and I mean, like with most shows, like I really love Dexter, and then it
Oh,
went
I
up and
love
down,
Dexter. I
But
didn't watch the reboot because I just like, no, Dexter. No.
it was, what? I watched it like I actually took I think it was my second COVID shot, and then I was sick in bed, and I like got Showtime, and then I like binged the season, and it was, I mean, it wasn't, of course, it wasn't like to the level of the original, but it was just fun to see those characters again, after all those years.
I mean, I'm a fan of his wife who played his sister on the show.
Yes, Jennifer Carpenter.
Yes, I'm a huge Emily Rose and Quarantine.
Yeah,
She was spectacular in
yes,
Quarantine.
yeah.
I'm a huge fan of hers, and was she a ghost in the show, and then the reboot?
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah.
for her. No, I wanted her back. So that's really why I protested against watching it. But if you think I should go back and watch it, I will.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth. I would definitely say it's worth your time. It's worth
Okay.
it. It's worth the watch.
Did,
It's definitely worth the watch.
did you ever watch Hannibal?
No, no, I didn't. Not the show. Not the show.
Yeah,
Is it good? Is it
it is. Lawrence Fishburne is so good on that show.
okay? I'm gonna add it.
And
It's on Hulu, right? It's on.
it should still be on Hulu. Yeah,
Okay, all
the show
right.
is great.
I'm
It's
gonna,
great
I'm gonna add that to the list.
and
I'm gonna add.
brutal and disgusting and elegant and all these things.
I'm gonna add that to the list. Now you said you watched Dexter. Do you have a favorite killer from the Dexter series?
Dexter.
Dexter.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he is the top dog. He is the top
he's my
dog.
favorite. He's so meticulous and organized, and I love it. It's like I don't know why this just popped in my head. I thought about you on that.
Cause well, I ain't even going because I could rant all day about people.
I
Yeah,
feel it. Okay, it's
yeah.
like Dexter and somebody else had a baby, and here's you, right? Like they're basically the same character. How they're introspective, how they process and think about people and situations, and their moral compass. It's just like the same.
Joe's sloppy with it though.
Joe
Joe's
is
sloppy.
definitely sloppy, and I think you and Mike was talking about you right last when he was on here. He's sloppy, and I love Love too. His What do you do spoilers on your show or
Oh
do you?
yeah, spoilers.
Okay, great. I just want to know, his
Yeah.
dead wife. So um Joe's great.
Yeah, Joe is definitely like I'm definitely gonna watch the new season. I gave him a hard time during the first season because I'm like, oh, this is just Gen Z Dexter. Let me get this shit
Yeah,
out of
for
here.
sure.
But it definitely, I was highly entertained for the second and third season, so they did their thing.
I'm
So
not really excited for the third season. Of course, I'm going to watch it, and probably get through it quickly. But it's just when I looked at the cast, I didn't see enough of us, and I was like,
yeah,
eh.
yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I get it. You know, we got a Sylvester. He said a 47 meters. That ending in the shallows is fire. That shark was petty. Facts. That shark was petty as hell. It's petty as hell. Chase said
Midsummer is tough. Yeah,
Midsummer.
yeah.
Midsummer was very like,
Hereditary. Them two. Oh, they're the same person.
yeah.
Who
I
did it?
was I was just like I was caught off guard with Midsummer, more so than I was caught off guard with Hereditary. Like Midsummer, like I feel like Hereditary brought out the emotions, but Midsummer unsettled me. There were a lot of unsettling scenes, especially when motherfuckers is jumping off of, Pride Rock, and
I was sick of it. I was like, get home. I'm sick of this. I don't want to be here.
it was a lot going on.
It was a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Michael says, yes, love was my girl, F Joe.
Aw, love. Yeah, she's everything. I actually liked season 2. I liked every season so far.
Yeah. Now, Sylvester says, Joe, this man was watching her take a bath and had the nerve to be mad the other girl was watching her too, talking about you got to stalk her. Yeah, I was like, yo, that's one of the things that I did appreciate about the show, is because I feel like, yeah, it's like heavily exaggerated, and you're in the mind of this stalker slash killer or whatnot, but I feel like the thoughts that he was saying is stuff that actual like dudes really be thinking, sometimes.
That's why it's so relatable. I'm surprised it didn't form a cult in the world, because it's like, you're right. Misogyny is still how I feel. Yeah, you should shut up before I slit your throat. I see you, and then there's certain how he attaches people, how he quickly attaches himself to people. I'm like, oop. Like my therapist was right. Like this is like really weird right now. It was awkward, but Joe's a good character.
Oh yeah,
Shout
oh
out to
yeah,
Ben Bagley.
yeah. I mean, he plays a good Joe. He plays a good Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they're going to end it, but
Him
so far.
probably dextering, faking his death, and disappearing, and he'll come back 10 years later with you again, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now we talk about TV shows. Do you have any favorite like horror television shows that just, besides like Lovecraft Country?
Yeah, tons. I'm a TV writer, TV show writer, so that's my
Yes.
preference is horror television. American Horror Story, of course. Like
Yeah.
there's seasons I don't love, but like it's still great horror content, no matter what you say. Um, you just did a show about this show that I watched called From.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
just delicate. It was just I hate how it ended, only because I wanted more.
Yeah.
No, this has to be a midsummer break. Like mid break, like 22 episodes, me like the old days.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
From was just amazing. There's so many things that I've seen that I still watch. I watched the originals. I'm huge into the Vampire Diaries universe. So the
Okay.
originals legacy. So I'm really big on that. Anything with witches, magic, creatures. I just watched Wolfpack with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
How was that? How was that?
You know what? It was great to see. It's I don't know what Teen Wolf was, and this is in the same universe. I didn't watch Teen Wolf, but I did watch the movie. But Wolfpack was great. It felt like a story I haven't seen before. Of course, now it's 2023, so the lead is black.
Yeah.
That's part of the requirements. And it was pretty good. Sarah Michelle Gellar looks amazing. She still looks just like she does right here. She looks just like that. She was amazing. Her role is not like up in front, but I'm sure it's going to grow. But it's just the same coming of age story, adding werewolf and superpowers. Yeah. So it was a fun watch.
I definitely got to check that out.
But I would say American Horror Story is my top horror TV show. I'm thinking because I know I watch so many horror shows from what is that show? Them? Did you see that?
No, I have not seen Them yet. Is it good?
Me. That is like a black love note to horror. It is great. It's triggering as fuck.
That's what everybody was telling me. It was like it's triggering.
Bro, it's triggering as fuck. But you have to go through it and see it. I'm actually over that genre for our community, right? Referencing certain time periods. But it was done so good, so well. It was great. But let's see. The Chucky TV show. I like that.
Yes. Oh, that was lit. I have not seen season 2, but season 1, I was flabbergasted with how fucking good that shit was.
Season 2, if they would have canceled it, which they did not, it got renewed. I would have been fine. I wasn't a huge fan of season 2. But season 1 was just immaculate. The kills, the storyline, the fan service, they did perfect for a first season.
Yes. They definitely. I love how they tied everything together because I was like, oh, even my favorite, because my favorite Child's Play is Child's Play 2. That was actually like my first horror movie. Yes. Yeah. It's my first horror movie, so I'm like, oh yeah, Child's Play 2 is and when they brought back those characters, I was like, oh,
Kyle. When you said Child's Play 2, the first thing I remember started rolling under the door to the toy factory. That's the first thing that popped in my head about Child's Play 2.
Yes. Definitely was on point. Black Horror Survivor, what's good, man? He says American Horror Story is really good, especially Coven. Angela Bassett and Jessica Lange are great together.
Absolutely.
Facts. Great together, great apart. Like they're just
bomb ass actresses and always have been. And so I'm so grateful that they're both getting their flowers how they deserve. Angela Bassett as Marie Laveau was just ridiculous. And Kathy Bates, she's a horror icon too, right? She was Miss Dolores Claiborne herself. She was Delphine Lalaurie, and she was great. And of course, Fiona Good, our supreme.
Yes. Facts.
Thank you, Michael. Pretty Little Liars. That was a great TV show.
Pretty Little Liars, definitely up there.
The new one, more so than the original, but the new one is. Have you seen that one?
No, I have not seen the new one yet.
It's not like the original. It's like basically a slasher.
Oh, okay.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah, Chase says I feel like slasher is one of the most underappreciated horror shows, and I would agree. I'm on season 1, and it's pretty good. So far.
I've seen all the seasons, and they get better and better each season. Besides one season, I didn't really like. I think it was 2 or 3, but slasher is great. There's so much horror TV that people don't know about. There's this show called The Following, written by Kevin Williamson.
I was on The Following from the premiere.
Me too.
I was like, yo, this is wild. And nobody was watching it. Well, nobody around me, So. Right.
It was 4 seasons of great stuff. And then Stalker. Did you watch that?
No, I didn't watch Stalker.
Oh, it's Kevin Williamson too. And he got 1 season and got canceled.
Oh, okay. Damn, I gotta check that out.
Harper's Island.
Yes, I remember that one. Yes.
That's one of my favorites, actually. It's a great slasher TV show, and they built such a community around it. And again, Katie Cassidy, Scream Queen again, had an awesome chase scene.
Yes. Chase says Guilty Party is my favorite season. Hyped for the new one coming in April about Jack the Ripper.
I'm interested. Jack the Ripper can be really good. He killed all the whores, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with that.
Right. They're gonna you him and make us and love him. And all whores must be destroyed.
Come
to Atlanta.
What's your favorite season of American Horror Story?
I'm not going to say Coven because everyone is going to say Coven.
Okay.
Even though it is one of my favorites, I could tell you everything about it. But Roanoke, that's the season I want to, outside of Coven, that I would want to be a part of. Roanoke. Watch that one?
I have not seen that one. I've seen like the 1984 one. I've seen Coven, I've seen Asylum,
yeah,
and I've seen Murder House.
Okay.
And so far, I don't know. I really loved Coven. Really loved Coven.
We all did.
Asylum was the shit. I slept on Asylum at first because I remember when it first came out, I tried watching it, and I was just like, it's too much going on. Like at the time, like it was a lot going on.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah, nuns, fucking aliens, abduction,
devil, possession.
Yeah, like you got a lot going on. But then I sat down and I digested. I'm like, oh, this is the shit. Asylum is the shit. But I would think my favorite one would have to be Murder House. Murder House was definitely up there for me because I just love the drama. I love the drama and the whole, how because I know certain people in here ain't seen it, so I won't say too much. But
this is spoiler land.
Well, yeah, it is spoiler land, but it was a lot of shit going on. Ghosts everywhere. So it was wild. It's a good time.
It's like the OG. It's like the first. It's the first of this thing, so it's always going to be relevant. It's always going to be the best. That's when they were young and having a good time, and that storyline was dope. When you said drama, you're right. It was just basically a soap opera.
Yes.
Of death and ghosts.
And I didn't know that about myself. Like that, I'm like, I really love soap operas, but then I was sitting down talking to Jaleesa about it, and she's like, "Yeah, like you," because I used to be around my great aunt a lot when I was a kid, and she would always put on Days of Our Lives, and fucking.
Hold on, bro. When I stayed with my grandma for one summer, I watched Days of Our Lives, and I saw Marlena Evans get possessed. It was over. I love that show. That is so great. That is so
great. Yeah.
Wow.
Stefano and just all the folks.
Yeah.
All the folks.
Bowles, Kristen. And Marlena is still on there. I actually watched it one morning, and she was kicking somebody's ass. I was like, "Come on,
I'm like, yo, they be getting wild. Like we definitely need I know we've seen ones with horror elements in there, and we also had Dark Shadows back in the day, but I think we're due for one with some color. We due for one with some color and some drama in there.
Absolutely.
We definitely do.
I love passion.
Yes.
You are my passion for life. Yes, I love that show. Little Timmy.
Yes. Brandon says Cult is the best season.
I challenge you. Cult is a slasher. No. It's not bad at all. Cult is straight up slasher. It's heavy because people they talk about Trump and politics, and everyone hates talking about those two things.
Yeah.
Right. And so it was, and at that time, it was in the heart of it all. And so, but it was a straight up slasher. Emma Roberts got murked. Oh, if you haven't seen it, I apologize. It is a spoiler, but it's Emma Roberts.
I love Emma Roberts. I can watch Emma Roberts.
I stand her. You don't even understand. I stand her. Everything she's in, I'm gonna fucking watch it.
Yes. She plays an awesome mean girl. She's
mastered it.
Yeah.
She's mastered it. There's certain actresses that can, like Sarah Michelle Gellar, she can be a mean girl easily, all the time. Start off playing.
Yes. Jaleesa, we are watching Crystal Lake. We were talking about that. We were talking about that earlier. We excited about that one. Another version, dipping back into that Friday the 13th world, dipping back into it. Now my next question would be, do you have a favorite, like a video rental store, from back in the day, like when you used to when you used to go and it's Friday night, you know, and you like, all right, I gotta pick one up, you know, gotta pick one up.
If I knew where I have like this box of old wallets, and my Blockbusters card is still in one of those wallets.
Bro, I still got mine in my wallet.
I will. Oh shit!
Yes,
I
I pull
will
it out.
never ever get rid of it. So to answer your question, it's Blockbuster. Even though they didn't hire me twice, it's fine. Oh yeah, I thought I was Randy fucking Meeks, right? I was gonna. When I turned 16, that's the first thing I did. I got a car. I passed my test, and I went to Blockbusters to get a job. Nothing. And I used to talk to them about movies all the time when I go in there. Bastards.
No, it was tripping. They was tripping. They didn't know what they was missing. They could have had some magic in there because you would have been talking with the customers like, look, the marquee, the little marquee they had up at the top. Movies coming soon. You know, coming soon to VHS, DVD. Got you.
See, they missed out, and now they're closed down. I think that's why that happened. If they would have hired me, we would still have Blockbusters today.
Yeah, we wouldn't definitely not have the conglomerate that is Netflix if they would have.
We would have probably turned into Netflix before they came around, right?
Facts.
Like, I'm about the innovation. Redbox, we would have got them together, chopped them up, took them out, and then we would have went to Netflix, probably bought them out. But see, they didn't hire me, so I mean, I wrote a book on this.
See, they need to they need to highlight Doctor Strange, you know, hit up one of these multiverses and hire TaMon. Let's get it popping.
Please, reverse time.
Now, with this, and this is probably like a given, but do you have a favorite horror villain?
Okay, no, it's not going to be a given. Reagan, the Exorcist.
Ooh.
And Jigsaw. Damn, that's hard because Jigsaw was cold. you literally laying next to me the entire movie, and I put you here, sleep, you bastard. You absolute bastard.
Yeah, I'm like, you better have been drugged or something because
you had a nasty cocktail before you laid down. Like, what you put in your veins? Like, you definitely sedated yourself.
Yeah, for you to hear me going through all this and screaming and, you know, arguing with this motherfucker for, you know, however many hours, you know, and on a dirty floor, you know, this was before COVID, but still, you know, that dirty ass bathroom floor, like, for all that time.
The biggest gag of a horror movie was when he woke up beside him, and the main character who saw him wake up, his facial expression and energy was how I felt. He was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Yeah, I feel the same way, brother. I'm sorry about that.
Nah, it was one of those like iconic moments in, you know, horror and in film history, you know, just period. You know, I remember I had it on bootleg. My mom, she had got the bootleg from somebody at her job. And you know, this was back in the day when the bootlegs came on 2 discs. Like you had to
Not the barbershop hookup. I'm sick of
it. You know, so when
4 for $20. Come on, bro.
You know, you were the movie hit the middle part, you got to get up, change out the discs, and don't let the second disc be scratched.
This is capturing the Black experience. Like, listen, y'all, if you ain't been to a barbershop and they offer to sell you Rush Hour, Speed, Friday the 13th, and Scream in one setting, you haven't lived. You have not lived.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It's just, it was something special about it, you know, especially watching something and just seeing somebody get up and walk across the screen, you know. And
I missed that. I saw The Passion of the Christ on bootleg in a barbershop. He literally bought it while I was waiting for my appointment, put it in, and we watched The Passion of the Christ. The ministry doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
It's something special, you know. And it's funny, like over the years you see them get progressively better, you know, because I remember we had Batman Forever on bootleg on VHS, and the movie already dark. It's the Dark Knight, but that it was like you could barely see anything. But I was sitting there like, oh, I got my Batman tape. Let me sit up here and watch it, and soak it up. But I remember those were the days when the bootlegger would come to your house
I
with the
love
with the
that.
backpack.
Make me an appointment. And I love it when they have the books where it's organized and they
Oh
have
yeah.
separate. So in this I have genres. I love that experience. I love it. Now we have websites dedicated to giving you pirated information, and I'm sorry if I shouldn't say that.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Like we keep it 100%.
That's what I like, bro.
Yeah. We keep it
This is like
100%.
my third cup, by the way. So
Well, hey, this is Evil Live right now. This is Evil
I,
Live. I got water in my cup tonight, but trust. The next discussion I will be drinking. I usually drink on discussions.
get a cocktail. Come on, get a drink.
Yeah.
What you drink anyway?
I drink Jack. I'll drink some. I'll mix some Jack with some juice or something like that. Or right now I'm drinking what's that? The Rocks tequila.
Oh,
The
is it good?
Termana. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
Oh,
it don't get
yeah.
headache.
I can't drink the tequila; it makes me nauseous. But yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
all types of it, no matter how much it costs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a ritual now. Like before I watch an episode of Last of Us, I take a shot of Jack for Joel. Take a shot of Jack for Joel.
I haven't seen it.
It's pretty good. Have you
I'm waiting
played
for
the
the
game?
to watch it. I played the second game because the characters are female.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
I didn't play the first one, but I have it, and I saw the YouTube recap of the game. So I know those heartbreaking moments are really, because the second one has those same moments, and it's like, damn, I may end up tearing up in a few. So I'm waiting till the show ends, and I'll watch it.
Yes. So you said you played the second one because the characters are female. So does that like? Because I know for me, the reason I'm bringing it up because I know for me, if I'm playing a game and you give me the option to play the female, I'm gonna play that female because I just feel like my whole life I've gotten majority like white men, with the beard, and I'm just like, if you let me deck this person out, like I was playing Mass Effect and I made like the character like Halle Berry or whatever, and I'm just kicking ass through the universe and some spacesuit, and it's just like, oh, this is amazing. This is much more interesting than if I'm, playing as just some white dude in the beard, which I've had, epic times with the white dudes in the beard, but
yeah, for sure. That's sort of my requisite if I play games, like single player games. Like, can I customize their outfits? And also, can I pick a female character? So, like Grand Theft Auto, I like that game. I don't play it anymore, but I played it a lot. But my character was a female. Any game, Dead by Daylight, Resident Evil, Friday the 13th, whatever it might be, it would definitely be a female character. And I don't know, it's always been that way. Even picking Katana and playing Mortal Kombat, I'll kick your ass in that. For any gamers out there, I don't know if you're there. Come find me.
They there.
Come find me on Twitch, TaMon Kane, or add me on PSN. Same name everywhere.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely gotta get in the game with y'all for Dead by Daylight or Evil Dead something. Oh yeah, I'm not like as heavy into it as like I got onto it late. Like I got onto it last year.
Okay.
But I got it. I'm ready to, because I sometimes I'll jump online and people just be so advanced, and I just be like,
it really is. But you are a horror scream king yourself, and so like you should be able to survive through this whole situation. And that's the attitude I go into it. Don't play with Michael though, because if you play with Michael, he'll get you killed. Bobby is really good at like really being about the team and caring about things, but Michael will leave you dead and out. Yeah, sorry, Michael. I love you. You know that.
I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Michael said, "Yes, played as Claire Redfield in Resident Evil 2."
That's the only reason the one I will play. Yep. And Resident Evil 5 is Sheva, and she's black.
Yeah, Sheva Sheva was kicking. Like I wouldn't mind seeing. That's why I'm like the movies where you got Alice and all this other bullshit. Like what's
Bro, if they did a movie with Sheva and Chris, like that whole
yeah
In Africa and zombies, it's gonna be amazing. But they wouldn't do it. This
yeah
last Resident Evil TV show that we got was some mid at best.
it was. I feel like they could definitely do a kick ass movie and be racially sensitive and conscious about it without but I think that they could definitely pull it off. I just think that the writers, because I don't know who the fuck they're getting to write these Resident Evil projects, because it
I
just
don't
seems
know
like the
either.
people haven't played the games at all. They're just like,
Yeah,
oh,
and it needs to be a
zombies.
hybrid experience, right? Like you need to be able to understand the lore of the game and understand, like, look at that whole continuity of the game. Like, where can we pop in to where we
Yes.
can create something on our own separately, but also acknowledge the world that we're diving into. And Sheva and Chris will be a great opportunity to do that because who doesn't love Chris Redfield?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm not like Sydney, you know.
Some TaMon is like Sydney. He lures the killer to you.
The thing is, I can get away from the killer, Avi, right?
Yeah.
Avi.
Yeah.
So I can
Yes.
get away from the killer. And so I try to keep the killer busy while y'all work on generators. You know what Michael does? He'll hide, run around, hide, and run around. Add you on, is that Salem? Okay, hold on. I don't know how I can, will I be able to get back to this? Let me do it now. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We get
Wait, Brandon, if you follow me on anything, DM me.
Brandon. Shout out. He's shouting out his PSN. His PSN.
Let's go.
PSN tag. Let's get it. Let's get
Text me, DM me, beat me if you want to reach me.
it. Now, do you have a favorite final girl and favorite final boy?
This is a really great question. So I cannot jump to another franchise to answer this question. But I do have a favorite final girl, and she is right behind me.
Yes,
She doesn't get the acknowledgement that Sydney gets as being a final girl all the time. But if Sydney's alive and she's alive, that makes her a final girl.
true,
And
true.
I just love Gail Weathers. And you know what? It's crazy. Like when I look at like my life, um, um, people like Lois Lane, April O'Neil, Gail Weathers, Daphne Blake, right? All these women who I've always loved in entertainment sort of shaped who I became. Like I became a journalist because I love journalists in entertainment and watching them. So I get it. And so Gail, Gail Weathers, um, if I could meet her in person, that would just probably be the best experience of my
Yes.
life. But no, it would Scream 2, Gail Weathers is my final.
Okay.
Um,
Scream two, Gail Weathers.
well, all
Okay.
of them. You know,
Well,
she's
all of them, but
survived in all of them. She gets stabbed, she got shot, but Gail Weathers is my top Scream queen
okay.
forever. Then Emma Roberts will be next.
I love that you said Emma Roberts because Emma Roberts. Ever since I think I first saw her in Scream Queens, and she
Exactly. Chanel
yeah.
Oberlin is an icon. Is an
The,
icon.
But the funny thing is, when I first watched it, I had cut the shit off because she had I think when she had said something about Mammy or whatever, she was saying something out of pie. I was like, oh, what's this bullshit? Fox. What you trying to show me?
Let me tell you something. She says there was a scene where, so in sororities, like there's some activities that you do. They call it hazing, right? But like you stand up in your bra and panties and they circle spots on your body where you need improvement on. So like you may have a pimple, so they'll take a marker, or you may have love handles, so they'll circle that, right? And so when she walked over to Kiki Palmer, she had a white. She said, "I had to get a white eyelash thing so I could write on you." And the first thing she said to her, she's like, "Hello, hood rat." I was like, I was like, "Bitch, watch your mouth." But that was funny. that was really funny.
Yeah, she definitely played that role well. She definitely played
Yeah,
that
and I
role.
don't think she's that person, but you can't be that good at a role and not understand like what that actually means. Like she is Julia Roberts' niece, so like of
Yeah,
course, and she plays not just one role that way. She plays a lot of roles. Madison Montgomery, Chanel Oberlin. whatever her name was in all the other episodes of American Horror Story. You know, Jill Roberts, because that bitch from Scream 4, she was off. She was gone. She called her white mammy. Yes, she did. Oh, the housekeeper that got her face burned off. She did. She did call her white mammy.
I was like, what in the world? You know, I cut the shit off, and then people were like, no, give it another chance. I'm like, all right. And then I ended up loving it. I was like, all right, it's her character. It's her character.
It's like she says how she feels, and I understand that, right? If I was blonde and white and had privilege and money, maybe who knows what you'll say? Who knows what you would say? So that's Oberlin. Hi, Hood Rat.
So now you picked your final girl. What about final boy?
I have a few actually. I don't know if I can count Dewey anymore because he did get murdered in the 5th one. Yeah. And it's all his fault. People like to blame me, but it's not. It was definitely Dewey. Survived 25 years. Doesn't he get something?
Yeah, I mean, damn, 25 years. He should.
5 movies. Well, 4, but 4 movies. He still dies, so that disqualifies the final boy.
But then again, what about homegirl from Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Like the Netflix one. Texas
Sally?
Yeah, Sally.
That's Mike's favorite Scream Queen.
So she made it, and they decided to.
She was already a Scream Queen before that horrible clone played her character and got murked and thrown into the trash where she belonged. That movie pissed me off so much. The kills, pretty decent, right? Great.
Yes.
Great. Plot, story, no. But Sally she came there to die. And it isn't like in her movie she did something spectacular to survive. She did survive, right? She lucked up and survived, like Julie James. She lucked up and survived. And now she thought she was going to come back and be Laurie Strode. No, sis. That's not what's happening. Chop her up and throw her in the trash. See you later.
Well, that's why I'm like, you know what? Maybe Dewey. If you did want to choose Dewey, you know, I would respect it because
I have others. It's fine. Andy, Child's Play.
Yes,
he's been fighting this asshole since he was like a baby.
Trauma.
He fucked up his life. What do you do from here?
Levels.
So Andy will be a final boy, and then from Get Out, Chris, he's the final boy. And shout out to Mark. He loves his movie, Night of the Demon. Roger is a final boy.
Yes. Oh, that's my movie.
Yeah, me too. I love Angela. I'll never forget that dance sequence. Pulling up this little blanket around me, spinning around in my room. Thought it was just bad. It was just bad. But no, definitely Roger too. And then we had an episode on Scream Kings where we talked about final boys and what it means to be a final boy and how do you become a final boy, and all these people are final boys, and especially what is his name? I feel so bad. From People Under the Stairs.
Fool. Chase just said that's his favorite. You know.
Thank you, Chase. You came in the clutch. Yeah, Fool. Fool was dope. And I think Jordan Peele is actually rebooting or remaking that franchise. And he should touch that one.
Yeah. I'm excited to see, you know, what he's gonna do with that, you know, because that was already unhinged, you know, the original.
Yeah. I mean, they were tapping into regentrification back then, and now it's really a huge thing, you know. So I can't wait to see what he does with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely gonna be up there. It's definitely gonna be up there. Now if you had a favorite like quarantine when we was on lockdown, like did you have a quarantine comfort movie when we was on lockdown? We couldn't go nowhere.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I had a few of them, but if I had to think of one that I really liked during quarantine, and I'm not, like I said, I'm going to exclude any Scream film because that's not fair. That's not fair. what did I rewatch? I rewatched several TV shows. I rewatched Stalker. I'm still on season 2 of it. I didn't get all the way through it. Not Stalker, I'm sorry. The Following.
The Following,
I
yes.
rewatched that. Um, there's this show called, what was that called? Oh, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Did you watch that?
I I I saw like a couple episodes, then I fell off. Then I was talking to Zero, and she said I should get back into it
You
if I
should.
really, because I loved Wednesday, and she was like, "Oh, you should get into Sabrina or
I
whatever."
liked
So,
Wednesday. Yeah, I like Wednesday. But if you want something darker than that, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina gives it to you.
oh
Give me a
shit.
blood ritual any day. And cannibalism, we're
Oh
there.
man.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I watched a lot during the pandemic, but I was practicing new skills in the pandemic. So,
Gotcha.
so yeah. What about you?
Yes. You know what? I During the pandemic, I was gaming a lot. Like I was playing like a lot of horror games, like the original Dead Space and Alien Isolation, and then I finally beat Red Dead Redemption 2 Part 2, which was took like way too much of my time up. But I would say, like, as far as horror, um I I think I rewatched Dexter, and then I got into what was that show? Uh Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow about
I watched that
Ichabod
in
Crane.
real time. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Sweet Hollow. Yeah.
Yes, yes. It was definitely up there. It was definitely one of the ones,
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Brandon Lee says Wreck was his. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Wreck. That's Quarantine. Yeah, that's Quarantine.
Yes. I saw Quarantine first.
Me too.
And
Me
then
too.
I was like, oh, this is decent, and then I saw Wreck, and I'm just like mind blown. Love Wreck. Love
How do you
Wreck.
feel about The Grudge and that? Oh, wait, I don't want to talk about The Ring. Excuse me. I rewatched The Ring for sure during quarantine.
The Ring, I really enjoyed it as a like I haven't seen it recently, but I know I enjoyed it when it first came out because I did buy it on DVD when it first came out. Like I really did enjoy it.
Mhm.
Just seeing her hop out the screen, and then also that scene where she's just in the closet. I was just like,
And her face is
oh,
fucked
this
up and she's dead. Like it's the movie's dated because it is a VHS tape, and it's so many references to it. It is definitely dated. But I feel like they did a new one recent, like in the last 10 years.
yeah, it was like Rings or something like
The
that.
Rings. I didn't watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, me neither. I've sometimes, like, when they if there was a movie that came out when I was in high school and then they choose to remake it now, like sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm dragging my feet to see it, like the Grudge, like I saw that, and was I didn't really care for it, like the Grudge remake didn't really you know
When they killed
care
Sarah,
for
oh, the remake. No, I haven't seen that. Once you
it.
kill Sarah Michelle Gellar, I don't have nothing else to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, Michael said the Fear Street movies.
absolutely,
Yeah,
Michael.
yeah,
Absolutely. Fear
yeah,
Street was dope, and they're
yeah.
doing more of them too on Netflix, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm glad they are. It was definitely interesting. It was, and I really liked how I didn't expect it to be like that bloody or that, like,
That
I didn't.
second one was great. When like
Yeah.
Friday the 13th ish one,
Hmm.
that one was great. 1970 something. I can't remember. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but
the
that one was
70s one. Yeah.
yeah, that was dope. That's another film I would love to have been a part of.
Yeah, yeah. It's Fear Street. I'm glad that they got that off the ground,
Yeah,
and
it was worth it.
but we're winding down, to the last couple questions of the interview. I want to thank you for rocking out with me so far, Tamon. This has been fun. One of these last questions is we're getting into uh, the time of the metaverse, and just virtual reality and stuff like that. So if I were to put on the Oculus goggles and I'm looking at, I'm stepping into your metaverse, your world that you've created, what am I going to be seeing? What am I going to be looking at?
That's a huge question, and I don't know if I can even answer that. But Um, TaMon Kane's world.
Yes, just like what would the sky look like? What would the ground? What would the scenery look like? You know.
Oh my goodness! You know what? I love when plant life and like it looks like it's destroyed, but it's like energy rushing through it. Like you see it
Yes.
in those dystopian films or video games where this world has been taken over by some force and the plants are growing and the animals look a certain way now because of this energy. But something like that. That's what my world will look like. Was that the question? Really, the question you was asking me? Like, how would I paint my world like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
how?
And
Yeah.
I think I will make it so you can always see the stars.
Damn.
The stars make me happy.
Damn. That was beautiful. I
Um,
would make it so you can always see the stars.
mhm.
Damn. Okay, we getting some heart on Evil Live tonight. We
You
getting
know?
some realness on Evil Live tonight. Yes, yes. All right, all right. That was a great answer. That was a great answer. I that's another question I love asking because uh you really get to see like what's inside someone's mind or their vision,
Yeah.
just get inside how they think a little bit, you know. So my last question for the night would be if you could spend a day in the life of your favorite horror character, villain, 24 hours, you know, um spirit, you know, person, anybody, who would it be, you know?
I cannot. Like at this point, there's no dodging this answer, y'all. Like I cannot pretend that it's not gonna be like, come on, come on. Like she checks every box that I have, her career path, all of those things. Like, welcome to TaMon Kane's morning show. Like that would be so much fun.
Yes, and you're the first person who picked a non villain. Everybody else was like, "Oh, I want to fuck with people's dreams," you know,
Oh,
and
do I need
be
to
and
pick a
be
villain?
ready. I
Was that
mean, well, you can if you picked Gale, but you could pick a villain as well, you
oh,
know.
okay, cool. Okay. I think Pinhead has so much wisdom. And I think that he's about life lessons and making you understand that your choices are your choices. And this led you to this very moment. The box, you opened it. And so now I'm here to talk to you about what you owe me, which is blood. And I get that. He has a very clear focus on his assignment in life. You know, he's all those things. And he has an awesome leather outfit. You can't beat that anywhere. Great skin. You know, like, come on. It's Pinhead.
I really love that description of Pinhead. That was because yeah, that just that whole series of and how pain plays into a big part in, you know, what goes on. I'm just like, oh, it's like the movies are great, but
Mhm.
just I would not want to be in that universe at all. At all.
One, that's something I wouldn't let my child watch. Okay, not soon. I watched it as a child. So, like,
Yeah.
pain is about pain, sex, blood, and killing people. That's what that movie's about. All of them are about all those things. And so it seems kinky, but like to the point of like there's no safe word. You know what I mean? Like that it Hellraiser is kink with no safe word. That's how I'm going to explain it.
And that's an accurate description. You
Right.
know, it's
It's no safe word. It's hostile meets the best. Well, I won't say that. It's hostile for sure, but demons.
yes, yes. Most definitely. Most definitely. But yeah, thank you, man, for this. This has been fun. You know, thank you for joining me tonight, for rocking out with me, for answering all my questions in the way that you did. You know, I hope that you feel comfortable on the show. You know, of course, we're gonna get you back on for something else, whether it be some sort of discussion. You know, we're gonna
Let's
get you
do it.
back on the
Listen,
show. You
I
know,
love this shit. So if whatever it want to be, if you want to talk about the kills in Sailor Moon, call me and I will come on here and talk about all the kills that took place in Sailor fucking Moon. So just let
Yes.
me know. I love this. I love connecting with my brothers. I love connecting with all horror lovers. I love all of this thing. So I actually have this cool idea that I'm going to pitch to like, but it's not ready yet, so it's not time to talk about it. But it's a way
Gotcha.
for us as Black content creators who has a specialization in horror can make something beautiful happen and make an
No.
impact. So that we're all
Okay.
already doing, but even more together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm totally down to, listen to some new ideas.
Yeah.
Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping.
The question is, when are you coming on Scream Kings?
Well, shit. Whenever y'all invite me, all I need is a. I just gotta. All we gotta do is figure out the dates. All we gotta
That's
do is
it.
figure out the dates.
Okay. I
See,
will.
see. Yeah, season two, Scream
Season two,
Kings.
yeah. Season two is,
Yeah.
the sequel is not season two for us. It's the
Oh,
sequel.
the
Spoiler
sequel. I
alert.
like that.
We wasn't ready to share that yet, but I'll share that with everyone now. The sequel is always a bigger cast, more
Wow.
murder, more death. So we got to bring you on.
Oh,
We got to bring
most
you on.
most definitely, most definitely. I'll be I'll be ready for the chaos. I'll be
No,
ready
it
for the
will be that.
chaos.
It will be that. But yeah, thank you for having me. I've had a great time.
Oh yeah, thank you, and everybody. Thank you everybody in the chat for hanging out with us tonight. Brandon Lee, Jaleesa, Michael, Bobby, Chase, everybody, Sylvester, Bianca, Melanin Magic, Terrell. If I
Hey,
missed your germs, thank you for stopping by. Rainbow, thank you for everybody stopping by. It's been another awesome show. Especially getting to know TaMon a little bit better through the lens of horror, and getting to chop it up with another fellow content creator of color in the community and the genre, and make sure everybody follows him and everything that he's got going on. Just in the description, all the links in the description. I made it easy. I made it easy for you.
I see my
Follow.
phone. My phone's been going off this episode. So I'm like, yeah, come on, follow
Yeah.
and slide my DMs. I love to talk horror. We can talk about every single thing. Drag Me to Hell, Scream. We don't have to talk about Scream if you don't want to.
Yeah. Drag Me to Hell. Yeah, that's one of the ones. We actually just got that on Blu-ray not too long ago. Drag Me to Hell is
Bro,
definitely
that's
one
a
of the
good one.
ones. Uh-huh.
That's a good one.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But thank y'all. Thank y'all. It's been another episode of Evol Live. My name is Evil Tyrone. This is TaMon Kane. And we are out. Peace, love, and horror, everybody. Good night. Good
Peace.
night. Good